Alrighty guys, the time has come. We're taking the 22 Creed out for the first time for you. I couldn't resist, I'm sorry. I did shoot a few loads of it already, some initial testing. So tomorrow morning, we're gonna take this puppy out. If you haven't seen part 1 of this build, highly recommend checking it out. So the rifle is over here. Let me tell you what I've done with regards to loads. Now, initially, I was a little bit impatient. I didn't have Alpha Munitions 22 Creed brass initially. So I've actually gone out and shot it before and ended up with like an initial load on the 62 grain VTs. Remember, our goal was to get those over 3,000. So I got them to 3,406 feet per second, but the grouping sucked, okay? Well, at least according to my standards. This is kind of workable, okay? 39.8 grains of Varget was 3,315 feet per second out of a 16-inch barrel. It's pretty nuts, okay? That's 0.7 MOA, workable. Again, I've got higher expectations for that. So what I did was I actually neck turned my Lapua brass because I shot it just like that, being neck down from 6mm to 22 cal. It was a little bit thick, and I think that would have caused some issues. So I've neck turned that, and that's what we have in this box. We got a whole bunch of VTs, okay, in this box, neck turned. Some of them I've played with seating depth, but all of them I have loaded that 39.8 load. Then I also decided, hey, since we're going out tomorrow, I'm gonna load up some of these gorgeous 85.5 grain burgers. Okay, these are the long range hybrid targets. Now, instead of loading Varget for this, I was like, what else can I use to kind of get me the speed I'm wanting? So I decided on H1000. So I put H1000 in. I've actually got a few loads that we're going to run through here. Starting at 40, I'm going to end at 41.5, but I can still go up an entire grain. I don't want to shoot this rifle on the super hot end. It is already a really hot rifle, and you don't gain that much by shooting things stupid hot like that. In fact, you actually run into some other issues that can be avoided by just backing off and trying to find a lower note. So that's always what I try and do. Even my dasher, I could shoot my dasher like 200 feet per second faster, very comfortably, no pressure signs. But I choose to shoot it at the slow note just because it's consistent there, and that's what I'm about. Consistency at long range. So, without further ado, dinner's ready for me upstairs. I'm gonna go get dinner, get some shut-eye, and then bright and early 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're gonna hit the road, get out, and go shoot this baby. So come along, it's gonna be a fun ride. Alrighty, good morning. It is now just after 5. Sun is starting to come up over there. Heading to the range. This is my favorite part of YouTube, is I get to go to the range Tuesday morning. I'm still going very early for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't want to waste my whole day. I've got a lot to do. Gonna get to the office, smash some admin later today, but also it's summer in South Africa, so it gets really hot. So yeah, we don't want to be shooting when it's too hot. It is a little bit windy, so we're gonna potentially have to factor that in. But anyway, got a little bit of a drive going. I've got my Starbucks cup filled with coffee, and the cup is quite sentimental because Gavin from Ultimate Reloader gave me that cup when he visited me a few years ago. So yeah, it's my travel, going to shoot, takeaway coffee cup. Anyway, I'll see you guys at the range. I'm gonna get set up and let's see what this 22 Creed does. And how's this for on brand? We're repping a 22 Creed cap from our boys at Horizon Firearms. So thanks for that, gentlemen. See you guys at the range. Alrighty, so we're set up. We're gonna have a target cam, but first I'm just gonna bore sight this rifle before I go and start our target cam. Got a big piece of steel here. I'm just gonna slap around on the steel, dial through the hole, because it's just occurred to me I've never ever shot the MDT carbon stock. So first shot, 22 Creed. Might have to adjust my bipod height here a little bit. Okay, this is gonna be violet. I've got obviously my Garmin right here, so I'll see speed and I'll relay that information to you guys. Okay, I'm gonna aim at that spot. Got it. Is it just me, or did I see a massive fireball? Let's do another one. Okay. Speed 3,328 feet per second. Woo! Let's go. Okay, I'm quickly heading up to start a camera down there. I am convinced that I'm seeing through my optic a gigantic fireball at the front of this thing, which is to be expected. It's a 16-inch barrel burning 40 grains of powder basically, so it's not all burnt by the time the bullet is exiting the muzzle, hence gigantic flash. So I'm going to try and capture that for us on camera, because if I'm seeing it through the optic, it's there. Still helps that I'm in the shade where I'm shooting back there in the little hut, which also has massive wasp nests around me. So we're gonna shoot 3 groups basically. First group is gonna be neck turned Lapua brass neck down to 22 Creed, 6 Creed brass with a short seating depth. Then we're gonna check a longer seating depth, and then we're gonna check the burgers. So we're not going to shoot paper too much. Okay, Pete, don't shoot the camera, mate. Okay, we've got a target cam rolling. I'm going to shoot top left corner. Okay, I saw the fireball. Did you guys see the fireball? Man, this thing's making fire. The group is not looking great. Standard deviation and everything else looks fine. I am expecting the alpha brass to outperform this neck down brass significantly. So let's keep shooting, shall we? Okay, that's like a 2.5-inch group. Not great. Okay, I have to first check that camera to see if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Because it's pretty nuts. Okay, fireball confirmed. I accidentally had this camera in slow-mo, which turns out to be a good thing because we got a really good image of the fireball. Okay, so that first group, speed was 3,301.8 feet per second, standard deviation 4.5. So fantastic SD, not fantastic GS group size. Bietjie kak, if you ask me. You guys will notice I swapped bipods. I was quickly just confirming zero on my dasher, and surprise, surprise, it freaking lasered. What's this? I thought, let me just chuck this double pull lightweight skypod on here and shoot our last ELDVT group, which we will start now. I shot the dasher all the way on the right, so we're gonna go third from the right top row. Now these are the bullets that was seated with the Ellie Wilson inline die. Looks better. That looks a little bit better. Speed looks good again. I did forget we have some of these VTs loaded in Alpha Brass 2 to test. So We're gonna get to that now. It's so hard to tell whether this is an accuracy issue or this is a mirage issue. The mirage is, it's a real, it's real. We've never shot this beyond 100 meters. So without further ado, let's shoot this freehand to 560 yards. That's money. Woo! Subscribe, baby. Get it. Look at that. Smoke show. Alrighty, so we're back from the range. A little bit disappointing. One of the not so nice range trips I've had, but part of my goal of this channel is to show you guys how shooting is. Every rifle can't just absolutely slam like my Dasher does. Sometimes you need a little bit more work to get there. So we had a bit of a mixed bag. Our speed was good on the neck-turned Lapua brass, okay, but the accuracy was not there, okay. The group sizes are just not there. Then conversely, on the Alpha brass, the groups look great. They're 3-round groups, I know, but the speed was like non-existent. So what do we do next? Well, I'm gonna figure that out in the next while. I think I'm gonna load some 62 grain VTs and do a full load workup just in the Alpha brass, because I know the brass is absolutely solid. And then after I get something that really works there, I'm gonna circle back and give you guys an update on that. I'm gonna try and do that tonight and shoot tomorrow. So let's see what we get. Alrighty, it's the next morning. Yesterday, I had the brilliant idea of cranking off the barrel, okay, because I wanted to Cerakote. You guys see these bits here, okay? They were super shiny, and I wanted to do them like a satin black. And then I realized we don't quite have everything we need to Cerakote, so they've been sandblasted or bead blasted. I now have to torque this back onto my action and then install the whole situation and load ammo. So I'm gonna fire up the Matchmaster, that's warming up already, while I'm gonna quickly build the rifle, head to the range. It is raining today, so it might influence our results, but I'm feeling good about today. Brand new Alpha brass. Let's go. That's the best group ever out of this gun. So, stoked. Okay, so it's windy enough, my target's actually blown over, which does affect the groups obviously, because the target is not completely stationary, but I mean, boys, this is way better than we had already. Alrighty, back from the range. Conditions weren't ideal. The target was doing it, one of these in the wind, so I wasn't quite sure, is this sort of lateral deviation as a result of the target doing this? Is it the load doing that? So we kind of got about a half a MOA group here. That could have potentially been a really good group, but again, it was super windy. So what I did was I kind of used that information, but then also discarded that and went to test some of the loads that I thought did better there. Now today I went back and shot it. Guys, I cannot get over the fireballs that this thing makes. It's wild. Look at this image that I grabbed out of today's shooting session. You can see the little bits of powder. Now, big news is I changed the powder that I used. I went from the Varget. I decided let's cancel the Varget. What I realized was the cases weren't filled optimally with the Varget, so I switched to N560 Vitavuri, and now the cases are, let's just say, full, to the point where the powder's in the mouth, okay? Worryingly full. Anyway, so shook those a little bit, seated the bullets. Now we have consistent case fill, because what basically happens, imagine the case is like this, and it's only full till here with powder. As soon as it goes sideways in your chamber, depending on how you did it, the powder might fall really slowly and be consistent across the board. You might tip it violently, all the powder goes to the front. Now the primer detonates into an empty space at the back. So that's really not optimal for a solid, consistent ignition. And what I found, N560, and we are off to the races, 0.48 MOA group. We're kind of shooting, it's a little bit bigger when you actually measure it in inches, but we're shooting beyond 100 yards. We zero at 110 yards, so that kind of balances each other out. So our speed has also come down a little bit. Obviously, Varget is quite a punchy powder for this load, but 47 grains of N560 did a number, and we're at 3,100 feet per second with the 62 grain VTs. I haven't yet checked the 85.5s. Again, it was just so blisteringly hot. It was 37 degrees today at the range, so I wanted to keep the shooting to a minimum. Little carbon barrel, suppressor, things heat up pretty quickly, and then all of a sudden you have some mirage issues to deal with like we did on our initial range trip. Guys, I'm stoked. This thing is now ready. I dialed over to that hole. I'm gonna load up some bullets using my Matchmasters. These things are a game changer. I'm gonna do a video on that in the near future, but I pretty much don't touch my Super Trickle anymore, which I never thought I'd really say. The Matchmasters have just delivered results like, I mean, pretty freaking awesome. So with that said, guys, thank you very much for sticking around. This has been a process to get the rifle to shoot. Things could have possibly been a little bit easier just using the Alpha Brass off the get-go. I think I might have put myself on the back foot by going off the neck down 6 Creed brass, trying some loads, then turning the necks, doing a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff. So if you can buy the brass for the cartridge that you're shooting, it's always going to be better. So note to self, but we knew this, but desperate times calls for desperate measures. So what do you guys think about this project so far? Next plan is, okay, to try and do some babooning with it. I can't wait to carry this around, okay, under 4 kilograms, or I think it's 4.2 kilograms or something like that. Super, super light, okay? And that's not even a light optic that we've put on there. We can shave a lot of weight with the optic that we put on there. Absolutely stoked with how this rifle is performing. So pumped, and can't wait to take it hunting. Also on the hunting front, this year we might do some long-range wings shooting, okay? In the area where I stay, there are farmlands, pretty much rolling hill farmlands, and in the next couple of months, the grain farmers are going to start planting, and Egyptian geese and spur-wing geese by the millions fly into this area and just come and decimate the crops. So do you guys want to see some long-range 22 Creed wing shooting? I certainly do. So yeah, we'll do some of that. All the meat, by the way, gets given to the farm workers and the stuff. They absolutely love it. Also much easier to eat a giant goose when it's not filled with buckshot. And who's shooting geese with buckshot? I don't know. A spur-wing geese, you probably might have to. Those things are built like frigging tanks. If you guys haven't seen those, I'll try and find a photograph of one I shot a few years ago. It was the size of my Ruger precision rifle. These things are no joke. Built like bombers. Okay, I'm going to start rambling, so I'm going to finish up the video. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you comment and you like, and you let me know if you have a rifle that blows fireballs that you can see through the optic. Never had that before. Super fun. Must be conscious where I shoot that I don't accidentally start a wildfire. So yeah. Anyway, okay guys, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.